You didn't mention a single word about your great movie career. Did you receive any Oscar nominations? I love that movie, and you didn't say a single word about that.
I'd like to apologize. That's a dumb, stupid question. It didn't matter what questions asked. I always make that comment because then it loosens everybody up. I was in the movie Blindside. I knew Fred Smith was recruiting Michael Moore. And Fred Smith called me and said, "We're doing this movie on Michael Moore. We'd like you to do a cameo appearance." I said, "I'm no cameo guy. I'm supporting actor at work." I told my wife, I said, I knew that Sandra Bullock's marriage was in trouble because she kept hitting on me. We were on the Richard Philbin show after we did the movie with Sandra Bullock. And Sandra Bullock's a wonderful young lady, could not have been any nicer to my wife and myself, and she's a class person, but the story on Michael Moore was absolutely true.
Any other questions? Yep, we have one over here. Where the microphone's on it, the microphone's on its way over. Welcome down. All right, Skip. Who's better cook, Jennifer or your mom?
Oh!
I'll let you answer that one.
My wife has a sister who's an outstanding cook. My wife doesn't cook very much. She has a lot of great qualities. We go out to eat about 9 days out of 10. It's like that comedian, they say, his wife said, "Let's go out to dinner." He said, "Where you want to go?" She said, "Let's go somewhere where I've never been." He said, "How about the kitchen?" I got tired of my wife telling me about Mary's husband that cooks the meals, because I don't cook. I can't even boil water. So I said to her, "I take you out to dinner, I prepare what you want, I cook exactly the way you want it, I do the dishes, I clean it up. When I take you out to dinner, it's the same thing if I cook the meal." And so my wife has had so many great qualities. I don't think that she should have to cook at this time. She's raised 4 children, did a beautiful job with it. She's paid a tremendous sacrifice. She's a cancer survivor. She had cancer stage 4. She had cancer stage 4. They gave her 10% chance to live. Her weight went from 129 to 89. I don't pray for her anymore. I pray to her. She's a saint. Her waist back up to 125. But she did an interview. She very seldom does one. One of the questions they asked her was, "What did you learn from having cancer?" She said, "I learned how much my family loved me." Now, we didn't love her anymore because she had cancer. We showed it. And then it's a shame that she had to go through that to realize how much we loved her. Because so many times we don't show people how much we love them. We take it for granted. Everybody's carrying a problem. There isn't anybody in here doesn't have a difficulty or worry or a concern. But my wife cooked for the children when they were growing up. I try to cook for her now. Dennis was outstanding. He used to be 132 pounds when he got married.
That is partly true.
Now he's taller when he lays down than when he stands up.
I will say this, that he didn't have to go through it because he was on the road recruiting a lot. But my mother's favorite dish was liver and onions. So, as kids, it was either whatever was left over in the refrigerator was made into a casserole. So what was for dinner? A casserole. That meant you knew all the leftovers were thrown in something and baked as a casserole or liver and onions. But my mother did do a wonderful job cooking for us. But my wife is a phenomenal cook. She started baking, but true story, I hate to do this to you. True story, we're dating, we're at Florida State, I'm coaching, she's a student there. She has me over to her apartment for dinner. She made chicken shish kebabs. And she put the chicken on the thing with the vegetables and put it on the grill until the vegetables got soft and then took it out and served it. So needless to say, the chicken was like chewing gum. And finally, after I had eaten about 3 pieces, not wanting to say anything, I finally said, can we turn on a light and just look at this chicken for a second? Ever since then, never had a problem. She's a phenomenal cook. Phenomenal.
She is a great mother.
Any other questions?
I thought we'd get one about
Going right back here back.
Notre Dame season, whatever.
Dr. Lou, as a successful leader, what words of wisdom do you have for our leaders in Washington?
The leaders in Washington, it's very simple. I just think that what holds the country together are family and business core values. Our core values is trust, commitment, and care. That's what I've always believed. Find people you can trust, find people who are committed, find people who care. We put those people in Washington, we'll have no problem whatsoever. We care about other people, we'll help them. By the same token, we're going to be committed to excellence, etc. The last thing I want to say is that I feel an obligation to speak out on what I feel. And I feel this way. For example, I'm a very simple individual. Just, you came to Notre Dame, first thing I told you, become us. We ain't going to become you. I don't care how you wear your socks or how you wear your helmet. Hey, this is the way you're going to do it. You're just going to become us. We ain't going to become. Feel the same way about immigration. Come here, welcome. God bless you. Come here. Come here, Regan. Come here and become me. Don't let me become you. That's all. I don't care what your holidays are, what your celebration is. Just come here and become us. This is a great country. Obviously, be part of it, be proud of it. Let's move this country forward and stop bitching and moaning and blaming everybody else.
Yeah!
My brother-in-law from my sister is a Democrat. And if you ever want to stir the dinner conversation, you just have to say that and then walk away and come back at about 11 o'clock. My poor brother-in-law is still sitting at the table going, yes, sir, yes, sir. Just taking every bit of it. What other questions? Yes, sir.
He happens to be a waiter. He's waiting for me to die.
Dr. Lou, I want to ask you a question, but Coach Skip, I want you to answer it also. You're great on TV in analyzing what teams need to do to defeat the next opponent. And I know your next opponent is Notre Dame. I'd like for both of you to tell us what USF has to do to beat Notre Dame.
Well, that's his concern, that ain't mine. First of all, don't beat South Florida. Let's just play our own game. Let's go up there. We believe in ourselves. My God, we don't have to make an apology or anything else. We're going up there. They got to beat us.
We talked about this as a staff the other day, and I've talked with my father a number of times. In the opening game of the season, far more games are lost than are won. Far more teams beat themselves than go out and beat an opponent. You don't see 2-minute drives run to execution. You see a lot of mistakes in an opening game, whether it be special teams, offense or defense, blown coverages. And so I think one of the most important things, I think your team, they have to be confident, which means as coaches, we got to do a great job teaching our schemes, be simple in what we do, and make sure our players can go and they can play fast without thinking, that they can go execute what we're doing and don't let them overthink anything. Second thing we need to do, we need to make sure they're fresh and they're fast. We can't overwork them. What was it Aaron Parsegian said? When he said that the freshest teams normally win. And it's one of the things that I think you have to do. I think that's one of the reasons Vero Beach was such a phenomenal experience for us. We were able to go over there for 11 days with 0 distractions, with football 24/7. Right now our players are just about brain dead, sitting in a meeting. I mean, they all look at you like one flew over the cuckoo's nest. They're just kind of staring at you because we have done so much and their attitude has been so great. But we were able to push that hard because we had 0 distractions. Being able to push that hard, get that much done early, means that we can start to pull back a little bit as we start getting closer to the game to make sure we're fast. Now I'm sure that the grass is going to be about 7 inches long and they're going to water the heck out of it right before we get there. Oh, you know, you've done it. You know exactly what I'm talking about. You've done it.
We couldn't tell whether we had on white or black shoes.
So I think those are 2 things that are critical. But in building a plan, as I have learned, again, from Coach, the great deal that I've learned from him, you've got to play together. you've got to play physical. I don't care what offense you run, what defense you run. People are trying to make it basketball on grass now, and as the ball's getting thrown around, you've got to play physical. They give you pads. Too many people are trying to play this game today that are allergic to leather. They don't want to hit anybody. They don't want to make it a contact sport. They want to sit back. They want to play it pretty. They want to take their shoes in their hands and all that. And it's more about the show. I think to be a great football team, you've got to be together. You have to be physical, and you've got to turn, and you've got to believe in each other, and you've got to play with confidence, and you have to play fast. Those are overall keys. Now, I'm sure Mark and Todd would love to come up here and give you the game plans and the schemes, but those are the things that I believe in.
I don't know.
Mark Snyder is a great football coach. I tried to hire him a few years ago when he was defense coordinator at Ohio State, but he's great. One last question, because I know you got things to do.
He told me you didn't pay enough.
Like you do?
What other questions? Yes, sir.
First off, I just want to thank you, Coach Holtz, for being here, both of you. And for Lou, when is game day going to come cover USF game?
I think that's the responsibility of South Florida to do that, not mine. When we went to South Carolina, one of the obligations, one of the commitments the seniors made was they wanted to bring game day to South Carolina football before they graduated. And we're fortunate we brought them there twice in 2 years. And so you build the program, you're in the conference, shoot, you go undefeated, West Virginia goes undefeated that last game. I'm going to tell you, game day's going to be here, make no mistake about it. Just win enough games. Don't worry about pros and bowls. Win enough games, everything else takes care of itself. But I got to tell you, this club is important. He can't do it, the players can't do it, everybody has a role, everybody has to work together and get it done. Last thing I'm going to say, because I know you got things that you want to cover, and I've been up here far too long, but I want to say this, to the University of South Florida, the Board of Trustees, the administration, the president, the athletic director, thank you for hiring my son. I know you had a lot of choices, but here's why I say this, because the guys are exceptionally happy here. They wanted to be here. Thank you for having the faith in them.
Say he was just excited to get me off his meal ticket. I know that's why he was so grateful that you hired me to get me off the meal ticket. He normally says that my mother carried me for 9 months and he's carried me for the last 47 years, but he left that one out. But I'm going to excuse him tonight. He has to drive back to Orlando, and I just want to say thank you for the way that you made your time to be here. I know you have an early flight out of Orlando tomorrow morning, and for being here. I love you. I'll call you later on your way home. But I love you, and I appreciate you being here. Thank you.